All right, we the people versus the parent that bloop. Sorry, pick back up. Amicus attorneys are appointed by the court either by written motion of either side or a sua sponte because the court believes the child needs it. And an amicus attorney is an attorney in the case just like you are, and they represent the children and the children's best interest. And they can file whatever motion they want. They can file for either parent to have them. They can file for whatever they want to file, neither parent, if that's what they believe is in the best interest. And so that's the way it goes. The amicus is a child's attorney. They can speak for the children and file whatever in the world they want. So whatever you can file, the amicus attorney can file for the kids. And the reason being is because sometimes people sit up there and they overgrow their authority, which is probably what's going on. And so this amicus believes the children need more access to the other parent than you're giving them, and that you're kind of putting the kids through emotional turmoil. So she's kind of trying to pop you, get the kids out of the situation, let them get to the other parent and do the things that she believes that you're not doing that are in their best interest. So that's why that particular amicus is going against you and filing motions of their own. But the amicus attorney is going to file motions every time. That's what an amicus attorney does. Amicus attorneys step in, they represent the children. They represent the children. They buy the children for the children. And they run a case. If a 6 or a 10-year-old could run a case, that's the amicus attorney. The difference between the amicus attorney and any other person or the child is that the amicus attorney has logical reasoning, analytical reasoning, intelligence, wisdom. They're an adult. They have maturity behind what the child wants. So if those kids say they want something that amicus attorney believes that's in their best interest, he or she is going to couch, meaning she's going to write, couch the claim, meaning she's going to write papers around that and petition the court for it. And a lot of times we get tired of amicus attorneys because they kind of go against us or do things that we're not in line with. But that's the name of the game. When you get an amicus, you got one, and they can do whatever they want to do, basically, with the court's permission. And they're going to file motions just like you're going to file them. Sometimes you can have them removed, but it gets pretty damn hard. And most of the time, they only are removed for non-payment. And you will get in trouble not paying an amicus. The court can award attorney's fees for that amicus. The court can hold you in contempt for non-payment of those amicus fees. And the parents do have to pay the amicus. Most of the time, a parent has to pay the amicus half, and the other parent pays half. Sometimes you have parents that don't have money, but the other parent wanted the amicus so bad that one that wanted it so bad picks up 100% of the tab. It's up to the judge and what the judge decides. But an amicus attorney will be paid. And an amicus attorney will be paid in a private case by the parents. So not only do you have somebody going against you, you got to pay them people to go against you. Okay? So that's the beauty of an amicus. You got to think about that before you allow them in your case or before you petition for one. Because most of the time the courts are not going to get one involved in a regular custody battle because of the fact that the parents have to pay for it. So somebody's got to be willing to say, they're going to pay for it. But when they get in there and they're not doing what you want them to do, you also don't have the right to kick them out. And you're still going to have to pay them. You got to find them doing something very wrong to remove them. And most of the people that are amicus attorneys are very well versed. That's why they're amicus attorneys. They kind of know what they're doing. They know how to get around things. They kind of know what to say to the court to kind of stay in the court's good grace. And, they probably have a relationship built up for being truthful around the courthouse. That's why they're an amicus. The judge wants to see straight into a case and sift through the BS because they believe the parents are throwing too much hogwash back and forth, and they need somebody to clear them waters and tell me what's going on from a child's perspective and against both parents, just a neutral party. You're going to get an amicus. That's what the judge is going to do to you. And a lot of the times it's a punishment. People think it's a good thing. It becomes a punishment. Okay? So guys, when you're being petty, okay, and I'm just being honest with you, when you're going back and forth with the other party, when you're requesting people like amicus attorneys because you want to prove this parent is wrong, know that shit can bite you in your ass. Okay? At any point. And once the amicus gets going, it's pretty damn hard to get them to slow them down. I'm just telling you now. Okay? Because amicus attorneys, much of the time, they're people that everybody in court knows. And I say this because they get court appointments. An amicus attorney clearly it's a court appointed position, right? Although you're paying them, the court is appointing them. And courts don't appoint people whose work they can't stand behind. So they done seen some work. So I know you're upset. Yes, that amicus attorney can do what they want to. Yes, they can file motions. So the best thing for you to do is to just kind of get on the ball see exactly what the amicus attorney does not like and try to change that. Do not get on a bad foot with the amicus. You don't want to be paying for somebody who's annihilating your ass in court, because it will happen. Okay. So I just want to answer that. I want to put this on my YouTube show because this is a very good question. Amicus attorneys are utilized throughout the court system, and sometimes it bites people in their behinds where they don't want to be bitten. And so I'm just being honest with you about how it can get out of control. So you be careful before you ask. You may be feeling like this parent right here, like, hold on a second. The amicus feels that I'm not doing the right thing, but I can't do the right thing because the amicus wants me to do A, B, C, D, E. Now, amicus is all about the kids. They don't care about you or the dad. They're going to pick for the kids, and if they believe something that mom is doing is wrong, they're going to bring that to the court's attention. If they believe something dad's doing is wrong, they're going to bring that to the court's attention. Whomever they feel is being petty, they're going to bring that to the court's attention. So that's kind of what's going on. So it seems like this mother may a little bit, she may be a little bit of a little petty, and it's kind of biting her in the behind, and she's saying she's emotionally disturbed and all these things. These are not things that you want your amicus attorney to believe or think about you, because your emotional welfare and how strong you are as an individual, as a parent, goes to how well you can raise some children. Because you have to direct the religious and moral training of a child when you're raising it. And if you is crazy, okay? I'll be funny using bad English, but if you is nuts, girl, they gonna believe you gonna make the baby nuts, okay? So just long story short, you have to be, don't act crazy, and it's nothing wrong with getting therapy and all of that. Nothing's wrong with that. That is perfectly okay in court. But you cannot be a little cray-cray. They will pull that out. They will pull that out. They will pull that out. And it will come out in their recommendation. It will come out in what they say to the court. It will come out in what they say to you. And ma'am, the amicus thinks you're a little cray-cray. So they're doing what they need to do because they don't believe you're going to protect the children's interests. That's not so good, especially if you're the parent that has the custody. Because what does that mean? If somebody else has to tell you when the other parent needs to be able to see the child and stuff, then you probably are not the best person to make the decisions that are in the best interest of the child. Okay? All right. Next case.